Top 20 Kohl's interview questions and answers. Kohl's is a department store retail chain, operated by Kohl's Corporation. It sells various products such as clothes, shoes, toys, jewelry, and home goods, and offers amazing discounts. In case you would like to work at Kohl's, this is the best video for you. Here are some of the common questions in Kohl's interviews that will help you land the job. 1. What do you know about us? By now, you should know that this is a common question asked by interviewers to establish if you researched the organization. Showing that you know some information about a given corporation or entity reveals your enthusiasm, thus increasing your chances of landing the job. All you need to do is ensure that whatever information you tell the interviewer is factual, and you are good to go. Sample answer. Kohl's was founded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by Maxwell Kohl's in 1927. It operates in over 1,000 locations, making it one of the largest retail stores in the United States. It sells several products, ranging from clothing to electronics, and has over 100,000 professionals. 2. Have you ever worked for us? You may have worked for Kohl's while still in college, to get through your schooling, or had your first internship there. This is the chance to tell the interviewer if you have ever had an opportunity to serve them. If yes, tell the hiring manager the location of the store you worked in, years of engagement, and your job title. If not, politely say that you haven't. Sample answer. I haven't had an opportunity to work at any of your stores. However, I have vast experience in retail, having worked in different stores, which should help me serve you well. I am also looking forward to learning about your operations and perfect my craft. 3. Why us? Kohl's is not the only department store in the United States. There are obviously other entities with better pay and working hours. Therefore, it would be best to convince the interviewer that you want to work here by mentioning some of the remarkable things about the store. Find something praiseworthy, and make known that this is your priority. Sample answer. Kohl's is my favorite department store, given that I have shopped here my entire life. I love how you treat your employees, and would love to be part of your team. I believe that my retail experience will come in handy, and serve me well when working for you. I am ready to give my all if given the opportunity. 4. Tell us about your experience. It is a fact that Kohl's prefers people with a retail experience. Therefore, the more experienced you are, the better your chances of landing the job you are interested in. Employers also love such employees, because they won't have to spend much time and resources training them. However, if you don't have any experience, ensure that you convince the interviewer that you can deal well with customers. Sample answer. This is my 10th year in retail. I have worked in 5 different department stores and dealt with thousands of customers. I have learned how to receive and help them, make worthy recommendations, and ensure that I am helpful in the organization. I can also handle cash exceptionally well and make entries, thanks to my years as a cashier. 5. Take a look at our business. How can you improve our department store? What value can you bring or add to Kohl's? You should convince the interviewer that your services will be beneficial and help the entity grow. If you are serious about winning an opportunity, especially if it is a management position, your answer will also show just how familiar you are with Kohl's. Sample answer. Kohl's is doing an excellent job as it is. However, having a more extensive selection of products will take the services a notch higher and create more revenue. This can be done by asking the customers what they would like to be offered at the stores and acting on their wishes. 6. Tell us about your work ethic. This is a pretty important question, since your value as an employee greatly relies on your work ethic. Are you reliable? Can your team members trust you? What do you believe in when going about your duties in the workplace? Convince the employee that you have an excellent work ethic and are willing to do your best and perform. Sample answer. I am a great believer in hard work. I usually push myself to ensure that everything is done on time. I am always punctual and ready to follow instructions to the letter. My previous employers can vouch for me. They will also inform you that I deliver nothing but quality work. 7. What would you do if card payment services were down? You must be a good decision maker if you intend to work for Kohl's. Such situations are always inevitable, and your competence as an employee lies in how you manage them. Show the interviewer that you can make good decisions and work under pressure. Sample answer. I would try to understand the problem and quickly fix it, so that my customer's time is not wasted. If I can't, I will put up a notice informing them that they cannot access card payment at the moment. I would also apologize to customers who prefer card payment before offering other alternatives and alert the store manager, depending on the scenario. 8. Do you have any experience selling products? Remember that this is a departmental store that relies on product sales to make profits. You will be expected to sell to customers, especially if you are working at the store level. This includes suggesting what you think they may be interested in, or influencing them to try new products. Like we mentioned, the more experienced you are at different aspects, the higher your chances of landing the job. Sample answer. I have vast experience selling directly to customers, thanks to my previous jobs. Thanks to my excellent persuasion skills, I managed to boost sales by over 30% by influencing customers to try new products and push the already existing ones. 9. What would you do if you caught a fellow worker stealing? Kohl's expects you to be loyal to the entity, just like you will be devoted to your coworkers. However, the former should exceed the latter. This is a test of your integrity. Will you report the matter or conceal the theft and even share the proceeds? Convince the interviewer that you are unwilling to condone such acts and will do everything in your power to ensure that such a thing does not happen again. Sample answer. The best course of action would be to report to the store manager after stopping the theft if possible. I am a person of high integrity who believes that we should work for our daily provisions. I cannot therefore ignore such occurrences. 10. Tells us about a time when a customer tried to leave without paying. The interviewer wants you to narrate an experience dealing with difficult customers. You should be ready to meet different people, including those who will try to flee the store without paying. Show that you are competent enough to deal with them and willing to take action if they do not cooperate. Sample answer. I once served an employee who bought goods worth $1,000. She tried to leave without paying. I approached her, and in a friendly manner told her that she had to pay to leave the store with the goods. She refused, and I warned her that I would call the police. She was visibly scared, paid for some of the goods, and returned others. 11. How would you deal with an impatient customer? It would help to keep in mind that the customer is always right when working in retail. You must therefore lower yourself and not expect the customers to do the same. You should also be prepared to deal with different customers. Show the interviewer that you have excellent customer handling skills, which will cater to all customers. Sample answer. I would first offer my apologies and try my best to attend to them speedily. I understand just how annoying it can be to wait for services. I would also explain the cause of the delay to the customer. However, if the person is unwilling to understand after the explanations, I would politely ask them to wait for their turn. 12. Have you dealt with an angry customer before? How do you normally do that? As we mentioned, you should be prepared for anything that this job may throw your way. You will meet the annoying, impatient, and angry ones. Never lose your cool unless you are ready to lose your job. Show the interviewer that you can stay calm and professional to boost your chances of landing the job. Sample answer. I usually remain calm during such instances and actively listen to the customer's complaints. I then offer my apology and solve the issue. If the customer is wrong, I explain why we cannot act on their wishes. If they continue insisting, then I will call the store manager. 13. How would you react if your manager criticizes you? Can you take negative feedback? How do you usually react to criticism? Your attitude towards criticism tells a lot about you as an employee. Can you take constructive criticism well and act on it, or will you feel undermined? You should be ready to admit you are wrong and make necessary changes. Sample answer. I embrace criticism because it makes me better at this job. I would listen to what the manager has to say and offer my apology. I would then ask them how I can improve and use whatever they tell me to enhance the quality of my work. 14. Tell us about your money handling experience. Do you have any experience handling money? This is a common question, primarily if you work in retail. You must convince the interviewer that you can handle cash, or be trusted to manage money, if you intend to work at Kohl's. Be honest and also admit if you have no experience. Sample answer. I do not have any money handling experience. However, I am a person of high integrity who you can trust to handle money. I understand that it is a big responsibility, and I am willing to do everything possible to be good at it. 15. What are some of the valid reasons that may make you absent yourself from work? The interviewer wants to know some of the reasons that you would use to call out of work. This will help the interviewer know if you are a slacker. Convince him or her that you are rarely out of work and will only fail to come in dire circumstances. Remember, nobody wants someone who will be giving excuses after excuses, forcing the store manager to look for someone to fill in constantly. Sample answer. I take great pride in my work and rarely miss coming to the office. The only times I call out of work are when I am extremely ill or attending to a family emergency. If not, you can always count on me to be available at all times. 16. How do you normally stay motivated at work? This is a common question in job interviews used by interviewers to tell what keeps you going. Where do you draw your motivation? Working in retail can be pretty overwhelming, and you can easily get demotivated. Therefore, convince the interviewer that you can always find your feet whenever you are demotivated and give your all. Sample answer. My passion for human interaction and helping people out motivates me to give my all. I usually look forward to every new day as it is a chance for new interactions. I also have goals that inspire me to work hard. 17. Do you have any experience working with customers? Being a retail store, Kohl's is greatly concerned with customer interaction. You should be ready to deal with customers every day. If you are eyeing a retail position, previous customer service experience will boost your chances of working at Kohl's. However, do not lie. Tell the interviewer that you are an outgoing and social person if you lack any viable customer experience. Sample answer. I did not interact with customers as much during my former job, since I was mainly stationed at the warehouse. However, I am a social and outgoing person who loves interacting with people. I am therefore positive that I can handle customers pretty well. 18. How much do you expect to make? You need to understand that you do not have much room for negotiation, since Kohl's salaries are set at the corporate level. You can therefore either take what they offer or leave it. If you are asked this question, do not mention a particular value. Just tell the interviewer that you are open to different proposals, and also ensure that you find out how much they are willing to part with. Sample answer. Well, I am open to different proposals. If possible, could you please tell me how much you are willing to pay for this position? Or better yet, ask how much they usually pay for the given work. 19. Which part of the store do you want to work in? You should know that Kohl's is usually divided into different departments. The hiring manager must therefore ask you the department you are interested in. Also remember that your choices are sometimes limited, since you can be easily shifted from one department to the other. The best way to answer this question is to assure the interviewer of your flexibility. Sample answer. I am flexible enough. I am therefore ready to work in any department, or where you deem fit. I will ensure that I do my best wherever I find myself. 20. What is the biggest challenge that you have faced in your career? You have definitely had to overcome particular challenges in your career. Look back at the years you have been in retail, and mention at least one obstacle you had to deal with. You can also offer some of the lessons that you learned. What happens if you have no job experience? Well, you can talk about the challenges you faced when attending school. Sample answer. The biggest challenge that I had to overcome in my career was shifting from a quiet, reserved person to an outgoing one who loves interacting with people. I grew up as an only kid and did not therefore have lots of people around. However, when I joined retail, it was imperative that I had to learn how to interact with customers. I am happy to say that I managed to do that pretty well. Conclusion. We have covered some of the common interview questions in Kohl's interviews. Ensure that you convince the hiring manager that you can interact well with customers and add value to the organization.